Hello, hello, my beautiful friend, and welcome to day 9 of your 21 days of gratitude guided meditation practice. I love what we're going to be doing today. I know I say that every day because I love it every day. I love it, and I love that you're here. So this is a book called Faith by Sharon Salzberg. You can see that this is another one of those books that were very instrumental in my spiritual evolvement and self-healing. You can heal the self, can heal the self, and so books like these, or anything, it could be a card or a smile, it could be anything that calls the spirit within you forward and enlightens the consciousness. Anyway, spirit oftentimes speaks to me through my books, which are my friends, and this one I actually went and saw Sharon speak a couple of times and she signed it. So it's one of my little treasures. Anyway, so I picked this up, and sometimes when I don't oftentimes plan all of these out. I mean, I have a list, and then sometimes I'll just say, okay, Spirit, what should we focus on today? And anyway, so are you ready? I hope so, because it's going to be good. I think this one could be transformative. So she says, just as faith brings us to steadfast love, the power of love allows us to faith. So faith is a verb, right? It allows us to faith. Kierkegaard wrote, hope becomes faith through love. By revealing the grace of connection, no matter what is happening, love releases us from our efforts to control life. Love opens our hearts wide enough to admit the unknown, the ungovernable. That openness creates the space we need to step outside our restrictive habits and come forward in faith. She says, once I went to a lecture by a woman who miraculously had begun walking after being long confined to a wheelchair. And in this section, she talks about, and I have a point here, I'm going to get to it. She talks about this young, handsome man in his 20s in a wheelchair looking at her with hope and eagerness, and she could only assume that the young man was hoping that he too would be able to walk, and he was sitting next to his father. And she said the father just looked like he had just come from work, and he was kind of slumped over. And she said that what she saw when she looked at the father was, it's going to make me cry. I watched the hunger in the young man's eyes and wondered if it reflected the depth of his hope to walk again. I watched the love in the father's eyes as he stole glances at his son. I could see the thin sliver of emotion on which the father was balanced. Not wanting his son to get hopes up too high, yet not wanting him to sink lower into resignation. While the man must have wished fervently that his son would walk again, I felt that his love for his son was completely independent of any particular outcome, so that he could be guided by faith instead of fear. So, let me get a tissue. So it's what this passage, and there was another passage I was reading in another book, which is why I feel like Spirit is really speaking to us about this today, about the amazingness of being human, that you and I have been created in the image and likeness of the divine. And oftentimes we deny the simple awesomeness of just being human. We want to be a spiritual being having a human experience, and we make all these excuses, and we forget to be grateful for the life that we are and the life that we have. And we forget to be grateful for, or sometimes we don't even forget, we're just not grateful for our frailties and our foibles and the mistakes that we make, the errors in our judgment. I have a feeling that most of us are so hard on ourselves. And this ability to love like the Father loves the Son, is so beautiful. And so today's meditation is on just gratitude for being, just gratitude for being human, gratitude for just being here, gratitude for everything that's happened in your life that has brought you to this now moment. And so it's not really a meditation on any specific thing, but it's a meditation on just being, on just being. Isn't that beautiful? It's so beautiful. I'm so glad that you're here. Anyway, let's get our meditation on. So, feet, love moves me to tears. Tenderness moves me to tears all the time. Feet flat on the floor, eyes closed so that the back of your neck is nice and long. And let's take 3 ha breaths together. So inhaling and exhaling. Inhaling and exhaling. And inhaling and exhaling. And in your mind's eye, imagine that golden light moving down into the crown of your head. And the light moves down the length of your spine, all the way down to the bottoms of your feet. And in your mind's eye, imagine that the light is pouring itself into the body, filling you up, filling up the pelvis, the belly, the chest, the throat, the space between the eyes. Imagine that the light now is spilling up and out of the crown of your head and all around you. And just breathing into the light that is in you, that's moving through you, and that's all around you. Just breathing into the light. So this is what we are knowing. Just this feeling of gratitude for being alive and having this amazing human experience, knowing that it is fleeting. It is short. It is precious. And so now breathe into the body, allowing the breath to caress every cell. Allow the breath to caress the heart. Allow the breath to caress your most cherished memories. Allow the breath and the presence, the feeling of your body, allowing the meditation to bring you into a deep state of presence and gratitude. And so just breathe. And with each exhale, imagine feeling even more present and more alive. Taking one more nice, long, deep inhale. Sigh it out. Very gently wiggle fingers and toes, coming all the way back to the room, and give yourself a hug. And give yourself another hug. Doesn't that feel good? It just feels good. It's an amazing thing to be you, to be you and to be alive and to have this beautiful human experience. And there's something about just sitting, breathing, and being. The stillness and the silence that comes from that is in and of itself a prayer. Sometimes you don't have to say anything. You can just sit, you can just be, and in that moment you are in prayer, you are in gratitude, and you are in praise. All right, my friend, thank you so much for joining me, and I will see you tomorrow for day 10 of our 21 days of gratitude. Have a beautiful, beautiful day. Namaste.